Hi, everybody. This is Nate, and I have Sherry, my co-host today.
Hello, hello.
How have you been? How are the kittens?
Oh God, they're so adorable. They just made 2 weeks old yesterday. They're crawling all over the place, and I already have a new mommy for two of them who's going to drive down in about 8 weeks and come get them when they're old enough to be taken away from mama.
Oh,
So I'm excited about that because I'd rather them go to a good home than have to go to a shelter for a while.
oh
I mean,
no.
although they get taken care of and they get rehomed, but I'd rather them go
To a
directly
home.
to another home.
Yes.
And yeah, so I'm excited about that. We've talked about it, and it just feels right. It feels like, yeah, she's supposed to take them, and she's all excited because they're one's white, one's gray. Her two previous were white and gray that had passed, and she had a message that her next one she got would be white and gray. And here I show up with a white and a gray two kittens that are siblings. And she's like, oh, oh, I'm supposed to take them. And I'm like,
Yes.
works for me. So, I pulled cards on it
Yeah.
myself. And it was like, yeah, that's
Yeah.
their new mommies. So,
Oh,
but
that's
yeah, we
good.
go out and play with them and stuff. And we're not really handling them that much because they're still a little, but their eyes are open and you get out there and start talking to them and they start mew, mew, mew at you, and it's like, oh God, they're so adorable.
Yeah.
And I just want to spend all my time out there playing with them. It's like I got other things I have to do, but I'd rather be
So,
with the kittens.
so today we are going to do another recorded video, obviously, and we were looking at different topics, and I think this one is very, very focused, but I
Yeah,
think we can look at it in many different ways. Is obviously Trump, but particularly looking at why hasn't been traveling? Was he been not traveling that much lately? And when I said that much, it's almost like n
practically
nothing.
none. Yeah. He
I
like
mean,
goes
has
from
he even
Mar-a-Lago to the White
Trump
House and then
house?
back to Mar-a-Lago and then where he'll go over to his golf course in New Jersey or it's like right there. He doesn't go far. He doesn't.
He, I I feel like he hasn't gone overseas since being president.
Mm-mm. He hasn't gone overseas since he got convicted with 34 convictions and was
That's a
found
problem.
guilty because he
Yes,
goes overseas. There's a lot of countries he can't go to anymore because he's a felon, president or no
yes,
president.
the
They don't
felon.
care. And
Exactly.
there are other international law enforcements that if he went to another country, he may very well find himself in handcuffs. So for
That's a part
entertainment
of it.
purposes
Purposes
only
only.
YouTube, but yeah, um, that's a real possibility. I mean, they could snatch him up and throw him in a in a prison
That would
somewhere.
be nice to see, yeah. But there are also all kinds of other factors, like we
Yeah,
discussed. There's some concerns about health. There's some concerns about, um, the legal stuff with him being a felon. And then I feel like there's also a concern about his own safety or security.
yeah, yeah.
Remember that he escaped, quote unquote, two attacks,
Assassination
student
attempts,
attacks.
and uh, I heard a reader about a month ago say there was a third one coming. I was like, well, when is that
Well,
gonna happen? But they didn't say. They just said they just saw a third one. So I was like,
I see a third
will
one
they be
coming.
successful? And they're like, no.
No, I see a third one
Yeah,
coming, and it feels
but
like an explosion near a car, like his car or a car, and there's an explosion. But
yeah, because they travel in a long train of cars, and because the one that he's in, they call it the Beast,
yes,
and it's supposed to be bulletproof, bomb proof,
everything.
missile proof, everything. But
So yeah, so
if it's
let's
an
look at
inside job, they can put something on the inside of the car. It won't matter. That's terrible.
so so
But
I
yeah,
mean we can just
let's
throw I mean first question, here is a good first question. We don't
okay.
go we just say ask the card straight up. Why is he not traveling? What's the main reason? And then we'll go from there. What's the main reason? Or give us reasons why Trump's not traveling.
Yeah,
Why is he not traveling?
I got my predictions deck now.
Oh,
So I'm definitely going to check those. I just got that in this week.
why is Trump not traveling? Mm-hmm.
It's what did I get? First
Oh,
up, the moon. A lot of stuff in the shadows
mhm.
here. A lot of things he's hiding. It almost feels like if he starts moving around too much, people are going to see what he's hiding because it'll
Yes.
get exposed easier
Yep.
because more people will be looking at him if he's moving around. Um, and then I got the Knight of Cups. So a lot of emotion traveling around with him. It almost feels like a fear
Mm-hmm.
from what I'm
Yep.
picking up, like he's afraid to get too far from home for whatever reason. Uh, and then I got the Ace of Wands. And this to me, every time I've drawn it on him, it the message I get is not what the card means. It's like
Mm-hmm.
somebody's gonna bop him in the head with a big
Yep.
stick, is what I keep getting. It's like, yeah. And then I went with my predictions deck and I just drew two cards, see what they would say. First one I got says surveillance record. So he's 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 worried about who's going to bop him in the head with a big stick because they'll be able to surveil him easier if he's on the road than if he's tucked at home
Yes. Yes.
with all the stuff around him. And then I got banking currency. And with all the corrupt stuff going on with the banking and
The insider
the
trading.
tariffs, the insider trading, all this stuff. Yeah. Yeah, he's it's just piling up. It's that's what I'm
Layers.
getting.
Yes.
Layers upon layers upon layers. It's like more stuff is piling up, and he's terrified we're gonna find out what it is.
Yeah. I got, oh, sorry, Sherry. Were you done?
No, I'm done. I'm
Yep.
done. I'm done.
I got the hermit. So the hermit needs a sense of isolation. He's
Yeah,
not traveling because he wants to be isolated from a bunch of things. The Hierophant to me talks about protection. He needs extra protection.
yeah.
The Knight of Wands almost feels to me like someone going after him. To me, this is protection from an attack, like the other two that he got.
Yeah.
And then I got the Queen of Swords. The Queen of Swords to me, when I pulled, I heard Lady Justice. And so I felt like it ties to his felonies, you know.
Oh
And
yeah.
maybe that's international, but maybe it's domestic too. Going to, I don't know how that would pan out, but it feels like right off the bat, based on our reading, he's afraid that someone's gonna go after him and is afraid of justice. I think in our readings, the health stuff hasn't come out as the
Okay.
main reason. As the main reason.
No, I haven't gotten any health stuff. All I'm getting
No,
is fear.
fear.
Fear of being caught, fear of being held accountable, fear of the secrets coming out.
Yeah. What other question would you like to ask,
Let's see.
Sherry, based on that?
Well, based on that, then let's take it international. Why is he not traveling overseas to other countries? I mean, by this point, most presidents have made at least one trip overseas. Now, his sons have made a few trips to like Greenland to try to talk them into
Yes.
to
Vance has
letting
gone.
us take over. Yeah. Vance and
Vance
his
has gone
wife went
To Germany and
and were
Greenland.
and were profoundly sent home and said, "You're not wanted here. Go
No.
away." It's like, then that's risky for those countries in a lot of respects to, you know, say to the vice president of the United States, "You're not welcome here. Go back to where you belong."
Yes.
And that's
And yeah. And I heard him say early on after he's got into office that when he talked about Zelensky, he said he has to come here. I'm not gonna go to Ukraine. I'll never go to Ukraine. And that was already a hint like, okay,
it's
why
too
are you
close to the our country.
so why are you not? I almost heard like I'm not traveling. I'm not. So I
Well, it's too close to the our country and the P man
yes.
to to be somewhere where he's not under full protection of the United States because he's in a foreign country.
Yes.
And it would be real easy to
Catching.
disappear him. Yeah. Have him fall out of a first story window and
So back to your question, Sherry.
what's
Why is he not
behind.
not going international?
Yeah.
Why is Trump not going international?
Why is he not being invited to go? But that could be another question.
Well, he might be invited and not go.
Yeah. I haven't heard anybody say,
No.
we've extended an invitation to the US. It's quite the opposite, actually. It's like nobody wants us to show up.
Oh, this is very interesting.
Go ahead and go if you
Okay.
pulled. I'm still pulling
First,
here.
first off, the high priestess. So, secrets, it's like the moon to some degree that you got earlier. The high priestess, secret, hiding, retrieving. Then I got the fool. It's high
Mm.
risk. You see how the fool can fall from the cliff. So close, it's high risk. And then the Seven of Pentacles. Like there's a money dealings going on here. Sitting on money. Why is it? And it's a secret. So is there a problem with why is it too risky for him to go overseas? Like there's an issue with money dealings, there's an issue possibly with justice, there's an issue with secret, and it is very risky for him to go. What did you get?
Hmm. Temperance reversed. So this is a lot of insecurity, imbalance. Things are it feels like he doesn't feel like he's on solid ground if he leaves home.
Yeah,
like
exactly.
he's stepping out as a target if he leaves home. Um, and then I got the hangman. So again, that's that step back, take a pause, don't do anything right now. Just let's
Don't go.
ride it out. Don't go anywhere, stay where you belong. Let's see what happens next. And then I got strength reversed. So that's self-doubt, lack of confidence,
Fear.
insecurity, fear. Um, that just seems to go right along with the reverse temperance. And then I pulled offering donation. I think he expects to be paid if he goes somewhere and people aren't offering him money.
I was getting money too in that Seven of Pentacles, I guess.
There you go. And then the other one I got was strategy planning. He doesn't have, with some things, he's a lot smarter than people give him credit for when it comes to playing out the strategy, especially when it comes to money. He just seems to
Yes.
have an innate understanding of that. But this feels more like if he leaves, he has to rely upon other people to strategically plan his safety.
Mm,
And he doesn't trust them. Even his own people, he
no.
doesn't trust them. He doesn't trust anybody.
Okay. I
Yeah,
almost want to
that's
ask, yeah, I almost want to ask for this next question. If slash when he goes overseas, what might happen? If he goes overseas,
what we get. Show
Trump
me.
going overseas, what could happen if he goes overseas? What could happen? Okay. Oh,
What you got?
oh. Okay. It's almost like a little story here. First card is the Emperor. Okay, that's him. Two of Wands. It's the planning of going overseas. Nine of Pentacles. There's a money aspect, a material aspect involved with him getting overseas. But then we're getting the Wheel of Fortune. So something karmic to happen. And then hold tight for the next two cards. Death. And then the Empress, which is Russia.
Oh yeah.
I think he could be at serious risk. He must know that there's a serious death risk if he goes overseas.
Oh yeah. All right. I started out. I got the Queen of Pentacles. Money keeps playing into it. He's not
Yep.
going anywhere unless they pay him. That yeah, exactly. And then I got the Three of Wands. Again, that's planning, setting everything up. There we go. This is getting weird. And then I drew the Devil. Who's he tied himself to? Yeah. He's not the devil, but he's tied to him. The
Or
devil's
maybe
pulling his strings.
devil entities against him.
That that's also very true. Then I pulled uprising rebellion. I think he's afraid that if he leaves the country, okay, what Spirit is saying to me, if he leaves the country, he's terrified that his enemies will rise up and take it back away from him, will eliminate him as being president.
Death. Death.
They, yeah, death, exactly. And then the last card I drew is mainstream news. It's going to be plastered wall to wall, everything that goes on. And he's terrified of what they're going to say. It's just fear. I keep getting fear pumping
Yes.
off of every card.
But the
And it's
risk
not
is real.
necessarily fear-based cards, but it's
No.
like just the energy coming at me
Yes.
is just fear-based. Everything. When I pulled this one, Uprising Rebellion, I thought, well, that's his biggest fear right now, besides getting caught, is having everybody stand up against him. And we're starting to get congressmen and senators that are starting to vote against him, speak up against him, saying this is not right, that is not right.
He's at
So,
risk. He's at risk. If he goes, I think his life is at risk.
oh yeah, oh yeah,
Oh, and
everything.
overseas, that makes sense because in the US, there's a certain routine. They know everything. Secret Service is involved. They know things like the back of their hand. Once he goes international, it's like you don't, I mean, to use his own words, it doesn't hold the cards.
Yeah,
It doesn't have the cards.
it's too easy for somebody else to step in and
Back, I know, back of the deck, tower,
it's out. And I had the Three of Cups reversed.
verse.
That's wild. Fear. I just keep getting
I
fear,
know.
more and more
He's
fear.
paralyzed. He's totally paralyzed. That's why he's sending all those people. There was like Vance is going, there's an envoy going to Russia. There's remember when the Signal app fiasco, there was someone who was in Russia. It is sending people.
Not only in Russia, they were in the Kremlin
Yeah,
for a meeting, and they're on a third party
system.
commercial app. Like, holy crap, could you be any more stupid? I mean, you might as well just have opened the door and said, this is what we're going to do next. It's basically the same thing. Um,
Okay, you own the next
okay,
question.
going from there, to what we were talking about backstage a little bit. Why does he now have a nurse with him everywhere he goes?
Yeah, a traveling
A
nurse.
traveling nurse. Everywhere he goes, this traveling nurse is right there. I mean, granted, the president has always traveled with a medical team for
Of
emergencies,
course.
that's just goes without saying. Um, I think that got implemented after JFK was assassinated, if memory serves. Y'all correct me if I'm wrong on that. I could be remembering it wrong. But it seems like that's when they made the point of having a medical team always with on like Air Force One or
Around the
Marine Force
clock.
One or what, yeah. Because
But
it's not that anything could have been done to reverse what happened to JFK, but something happens to somebody, at least there's people there that can deal with the immediacy of the moment, that could make a difference. But this doesn't feel like that. This is just like, why does he need a nurse going with him?
I heard this story about
Every
a traveling nurse that to me comes in addition to the normal process, in
right,
addition to the normal
right,
process. Yes.
right.
And
He's got
you
the
heard
regular medical team, but why this nurse?
and you heard he had like a 4 or 5 hours physical yesterday. Did you see that in the
No, I
news?
didn't see that.
Yes, there was like a 5 hours um physical.
Oh,
And from what I heard, like they didn't say much about it, but it wasn't like, oh, everything's great. It was more what came out of it was everything was okay, which is very strange because every time he had physicals, they've always said in the best shape
oh, he's the healthiest
ever.
person in
It's
the
like,
world, and
like the best health a president ever had, and this and that. And for the first time, they just said that everything was okay. So I'm just gonna
mm.
look up to make sure on my phone, not being rude, but I want to make sure Trump's physical.
Yeah, sometimes it's like I remember hearing or reading something, and then I'll get stories mixed together because it can be overwhelming, all the information that comes out. Because
Okay,
he's nonstop. That's what the news always griped about with Biden was that he was boring. There was nothing to report on. Well, yeah, thank God he was doing his job. I mean,
this is what they said that ticked me. The president is in good shape. Well, that's very interesting because in the past, in the first presidency, they didn't say in good shape. They always had this extraordinary. Um, and here he's from MSNBC. He had an annual physical, which included a cognitive test, and oh my God, what a surprise! He got every answer right, which is those silly tests. So that doesn't mean anything. But why they say that is in good shape? I don't think that's a very good feedback to say that he's in good shape when in the past they were saying that he had the best health ever. That to me feels like there's something wrong. And let me look at the traveling nurse when I'm at it. Nurse, Trump, traveling nurse.
mm,
Go ahead, Sherry, if you got something.
that big stick is making an appearance again. Um, Perhaps they need the stick to keep him in his place,
Yes.
kind of bop him in the head and make him go sit down. I don't know why that image comes to mind every time that cards comes up. It's somebody like a parent using a spatula to swat at their kids, don't do that. That's
Yep.
what I get when
The
I get that
stick.
the
The
ace of
stick.
wands. It's like
Yes.
somebody hitting them with a stick saying, go sit down and be quiet. Um, and then I got the four of wands, which in the background you got the White House. It's a house and it's white. So we equate that with the White House. But I don't see a lot of celebration. It feels like they're putting on they're making it appear like everything is okay. See, we're
Yes.
celebrating, everything's good. We're back at the White House. He's fine.
Yes.
No. And then I got the Ace of Pentacles reversed. Lost
Yeah.
opportunities, just loss altogether, all kinds of stuff. Yeah, that just then I pulled a drone strike. And so it's like, how does that equate to his
Mhm.
health? I don't know. This one stumps me. It's not being clear. But then I got taken by force. So could that be another reason why he's staying so tightly surrounded by medical people, is to prevent somebody from trying to take him, because they can say, "Oh no, you can't take him."
Too
It
weak.
would, it would. He's too weak for that. He can't handle that. His health is not strong enough to withstand that. And then the last one I got was the military plane, because whenever he's traveling, that's what he's in, is Air Force
Yes,
One. That's a
that's right.
military plane. So, um, and that's where his medical team is going to be. So, what if his medical team? Okay, now it's talking to me. What if his medical team is here and they get hit by a drone strike, and
Oh,
suddenly he doesn't have access to that medical care, especially if he gets taken?
by force.
Yeah,
It feels to me like the cards are not specifically answering the question about health, but they almost tell us there's a
it's like
high risk of
they're
him.
going.
Yes.
Yeah, yeah. Because when I first pulled these, I was like, "What the hell? What does that have to do with anything?" But yeah, I mean, if his medical team is here and they get taken out by a drone strike, how easy is it to snatch him up? To hell with his health. They don't care if they're there to take him.
Your
It's
question
just,
was, yeah, your question was what
why
is
is
there a
the
traveling nurse?
yeah, why does he have
Right.
this nurse with him everywhere when he already has a medical team that travels with him? And you're
Very
right, it's like
odd.
the cards don't want to specifically say.
No,
It's
but
like they're
I have kind of the same energy here, the Three of Wands looking out, and you have like the ship, which means almost means overseas. Then you have the Page of Sword, like almost you see this person attacking, and then the Seven of Sword, like a sneaky attack. It's almost like he's at risk, but they're not answering the issue of the traveling nurse.
yeah, it's maybe there's another way we could phrase it. Um,
Well, I would ask,
to
does
flesh it
his
out for a
health,
better
yeah,
answer.
okay, I want to ask, does his health requires a traveling nurse?
There we go. That's a good one.
Does
Does his health
Trump's health
require?
require a traveling nurse? If it's not required, then that's very strange. If it's required,
And that makes more
no
sense.
sense. Okay, is the health of Trump requires a traveling nurse?
All right. These cards are wow. Um, yeah, shoot, excuse me. Now they're literally flying out of my hands.
Yeah, I can see that, Shari.
Oh, oh, interesting. Okay. The moon. He's trying to keep everything secret, keep it hidden. Nobody needs to know. Um,
Behind the curtains.
yeah. Maybe that nurse is there to make sure he gets that little booster shot so he can go out and be all pumped up when he talks to people. Or maybe to make sure he doesn't have a massive stroke in the process of going out and talking to people. You know, but then I get the Wheel of Fortune. There's that karma coming back around. Yeah. And then I got the King of Pentacles reversed. So greed, loss of income,
Weak energy.
weak energy. I'm sitting there trying to think of meanings for this for it to be reversed. It feels like he's spinning his wheels and he's not getting anywhere. And then I pull business tycoon because that's how he sees himself, as this great business tycoon, which he's not, but that's what he thinks. But then I pull controlled narrative. Maybe with a nurse there to deal with his health if there's any kind of event or issue, it can control what's said.
Oh, yeah.
Because the nurse could say, oh, no, 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 it wasn't a stroke. It was this, or it was
Fatigue. Yes.
his blood sugar dropped because he didn't eat breakfast, or he didn't have enough Big Macs today, whatever. But whatever it is, it ends up with big news. I think once it comes out what the issue is on his health, it's going to be really big news. Because as you were saying, he just went through his 5 hour physical,
Physical.
and they were saying, not, oh, he's the healthiest man in the world. His health is fantastic, wonderful, excellent. No, his
In
health
good
is
shape.
good.
Yeah, in good shape.
Yeah, that speaks volumes
Volumes.
compared to what they normally say.
Say.
That's that moon coming out. Keep it secret, keep it safe. And through it all, he has to control the narrative of what's being said. And that
Yep.
nurse is there to help control
Patch.
what's being, yeah.
Yes. It's almost like it doesn't need the nurse because he has a particular illness or um, problem ongoing, which I'm sure he does, but that's not the real purpose of the nurse. The nurse is there just in case there's an incident. How can they patch quickly the situation?
And make it appear like it's no big deal.
And a nurse would show up and say, "Oh, yeah, like you said, it was his blood sugar. He left early in the morning, didn't get breakfast, and
He didn't sleep last night,
night, it's working hard, blah, blah, blah." I got the Hermit, and again, the Hermit tells me, to me,
twice
this
now.
is almost a sense, in this case, almost like feeling tired, feeling older, feeling low energy. Could it be that they feel that he's not well, but at any time at the risk of having a problem?
Oh, yeah. I think maybe that's where some of that fear is coming from, not just from him, but from
Like,
those around
oh,
him, that if he has a sudden
yeah,
8 of Wands that just flew out of the deck uh, as I
Eight
was
of
shuffling.
Wands. Help me with this one, Sherry, the lovers.
Ooh, a
Uh,
partnership with someone maybe, but that doesn't feel right. Um, First, how did that come up?
Maybe it's like there's a deal with the nurse.
There we go. That could be. No matter what happens, you're going to say XYZ. And you're going to give him a booster shot so he can get up and go out and do his little
And I
arm
got,
thing,
yes. And I got the Four of Wands, which is the White House. Not white in my thing, but it is the White House.
Well, and I had it last time, so
And to me, those wands, it's almost like a gate, and you can't see what's
yeah,
closer.
kind of a
This gives an
protective measure.
impression that they are using this as a just in case makeup, like
Oh,
made
yeah.
up stuff.
Oh, yeah, that's resonating. Shit. That's I keep throwing cards on the ground.
What? Yeah.
Volcano and mountains. That's what jumped out. Um, that's like that's resonating big time, what you just said.
I think it's your time to ask a question.
Yeah, I'm trying to think of
And again, it has to do with why is he not traveling? What are the problems related to his travels?
and the biggest thing I keep getting off of every question is just fear.
Hmm.
And at first I thought it was his fear, but maybe it's a combination, not just of his fear, but everyone around them fear.
Yeah.
If he steps out and has a seizure on stage, what are we going to do? You know, because he's, hey, darling, because he's, uh, hello, the dog. Sorry, my son had a
Oh
visitor
my
that
God.
just showed
No,
up, and
no,
of course
what?
the dogs have to go nuts. Pop up, stop. He sounds ferocious. He's huge, and he's the biggest damn chicken I've ever seen in my life. He sounds like that and will run up and bark in people's face, and then he runs to the back bedroom and hides
And
under the bed.
hide.
And he's huge. He's a great big lab mutt mix. So he's a big dog, a big black dog, which makes it even scarier for other people. He's the biggest chicken in the world. Um, okay, I lost my train of thought. Where were
A
we at? What were
question.
we saying?
A
Um,
question. Why is he not traveling? What could be other problems related to him not traveling? Okay, here is another way of looking at things. Is it because he must stay in the White House?
ooh, oh, I like that. Yeah. Does
Like,
he
for
have to
example, if
stay
he
there?
leaves the White House, is there a risk of anything? Why does he must stay? Must he stay in the White House? What would be a reason for him to stay?
I am loving these cards. Uh, let's see what else I get. Oh, Jesus. Okay.
Well, there's something here.
All right. First up I got was business tycoon. He sees himself as this great white hope of the business tycoon who's going to save the nation.
Yes.
And he's the one doing all the damage. Social media. He's very conscious about anything and everything being said about him.
Yep.
Maybe he has more control over what's said about him when he stays
Inside the
home.
four walls. Yes.
Right. As opposed to out and about where anybody and their brother
Can take a photo,
take photos, do film. and he's terrified of the evidence of scandal.
Scandal. Hmm.
If he gets out and about if he leaves home, what's currently his home, there's a greater chance of him being exposed in his health. Um,
Can he really walk?
and what?
Can he really walk properly?
Yeah, that's no, because if he has what they're calling a particular kind of dementia, it creates this, you don't stand up straight, you lean forward.
Yes.
Plus he wears lifts in his shoes to make himself appear bigger, which puts him at that weird angle along with the what is it, Louis something syndrome of dementia that makes you lean forward. I mean,
Forward.
what's that? Queen of Wands. Um, he feels safe when he's home
Yes.
because he doesn't have to worry about what anybody's going to film him doing or take a picture of him doing. Or, what if he has a bathroom accident again? That happened the first time he was in office when he was out on the golf course and he had a number two accident.
Accident.
And there were enough reporters there that got pictures of his backside and the resulting wet stain that showed.
Area.
And it was all over the media. And you know damn well that upset him. That
Oh,
probably upset him more than anything else because he's used to having accidents in his britches. That's why he wears diapers.
yeah.
But to have it make the world news because
That you really
he's a very what's the word I want to say? Um he's very aware of what other people think and say of him.
self-conscious.
Thank you. Self-conscious. I was just going blank. I couldn't think of the words. And that's where that social media comes in. Um, and then it ended with the tower.
Oh, there's a lot of issues with it, more than I thought we would see with this whole travel thing. It's a big
Yeah.
problem. Big problem.
Yeah. And the longer he puts off doing anything, I think the bigger it's going to become a scandal
Yeah.
when whatever is the actual truth does get revealed.
Well, don't you feel that more and more people, I mean, that's why we're doing this show. More and more people are noticing that it's not going anywhere.
He's not going anywhere. He's got nurses traveling with
Traveling,
him. He's fumbling and mumbling his words worse than normal. I
the
mean,
walking seems to be very
the walking
difficult.
thing is weird. The can't stand up straight. Um,
We don't really
I
see
almost
him
halfway
standing.
expect to see them wheel him out in a wheelchair every time he makes a public appearance.
I've always saw him in a wheelchair, always.
Yeah, you're not alone. I know several people that have seen
Oh,
that,
oh,
or in a wheelchair and or gurney.
oh my God, that will be something
Yeah.
else. Yeah.
I know
Okay.
another reader keeps seeing him on a gurney, handcuffed to the gurney that he
Oh my
can't.
God.
And so it's like, well, there's a sight. Talk about a tower moment. Um, yeah,
I'm sorry, Sherry, were you done
No,
or
go
you?
ahead. I'm
Yep.
I'm just at this point I'm just rambling. My
First
brain's going a
card,
million miles an
interestingly
hour.
enough, justice. So there's fear also
Another one of his
about,
fears.
that's another one. And then the Eight of Pentacles, we have money and working around money. The Ace of Pentacles, the why he's staying at the White House, I feel, is to keep tight controls over the stock
Everything.
market, yes, the economy, the whole insider trading problem.
Oh yeah,
Yes,
because I mean, there was already rumors going about for entertainment purposes only
only.
that uh EM was had been bleeding so much money out that he was cash cash negative. Like all he had, you had Tesla talking about replacing him. You have X talking about replacing him. It's like these big companies that he's bought and is running into the ground. They're like, okay, we've about had enough of you taking all the money
Yeah,
away. And supposedly with this stock market thing, he made billions upon billions of money in cash in like a couple of hours. Um,
yeah, I told people it's gonna go back up.
yeah.
I mean, not exactly like that, but hinting that he would do something to.
Yeah, I mean he sent out a tweet
y-
saying, probably time to buy now. And within like an hour, he says, oh no, I'm gonna pause the tariffs for 90
Tariffs. That's
days.
so wrong.
And everything went up. And it wasn't just him and his little handful of billionaires that made gazillions of dollars, but there was quite a few people in the Congress and the Senate
Oh,
that
should
also were suddenly buying and selling stock that they normally
wouldn't.
don't deal with, who were making money hands over fists, which is why Adam Schiff and some of the others are like, no, there needs to be a full investigation. AOC is saying every person that's in Congress or the Senate needs to put forth their financial data right now. When was the last time you bought stock? How much money did you make off of this venture? And yeah, they're getting pushback from some of the ones that it's being rumored
Of course.
made a bunch of money off of this deal.
Should we finish the show with looking into this?
Oh,
How
that's what you had
big,
going.
how big this insider trading issue will be? What will come out of this insider trading?
Yeah. Don't feel like it's going to be anything very good.
Tariff, stock market. What will come out of the insider trading situation?
How bad is it gonna? What is the outcome? Got the lovers. Here they come again.
Yep,
I got strength. There's a lot of people feel really strong now because they just made a lot of money. And then I got the sun,
oh,
which is going to come out and expose what just happened, or it's already exposing. And now there's investigations
yes.
being called. Tsunami, rising water. Let's do one picture card. Compromised, harmful.
Yep. It's a
Yeah,
big issue.
with this, compromises are going to come out. Who made deals? And it's going to be like a tsunami when they start getting hit with everything, which is where that strength is coming from. This is going to be the strength of those investigating. And
Yep.
45 and his buddies. Wow, doesn't look good at all.
No.
Replace or exchange. I am loving this deck. Wow.
I got. Are you done, Sherry?
I'm done.
Yep.
Yeah, yeah.
Seven of Pentacles, the money that came in, and that card I had it before. Seven of Wands. It's interesting. Another seven. Oh, I have 777
Oh,
with a seven of swords. It's like the jackpot almost. Someone hit the jackpot.
yeah,
Seven, seven,
that's all
seven.
the bells ring in the casino when you get 777.
Seven of Pentacles, seven of Wands, seven of Swords. It's like someone hit the jackpot. And the
And
seven
I
of
got
Swords,
everything around it. 6 and 8.
yeah,
There's no numbers on these, so
someone stealing with the last one, the seven of Swords. But here is the real kick. Final cards. The Empress.
How else is he gonna get money to his buddy?
Russia being involved and getting some money through
That's why he's pushing crypto so hard. So he can funnel money to
to
the
the
P
Russia
Man.
because Russia needs money for the war.
They're broke. They don't have anything. Their people are starving. I mean,
So could it be
it's
that some of
bad.
the people that benefited where that money went to Russia to help them?
Oh, absolutely. That rings bells. That's like all the bells and whistles are going off in my head. This is
777 in Russia.
and how many of those people were in on it because the market's not just here, that's global. How many people there
That's
with that
right.
simple phrase, now's the time, move. And suddenly they got their coffers refilled. They suddenly started getting money dumping back into the hole that was empty because of their stupid war. I mean,
It's your, I think the main point here, I forgot, but you're absolutely right. It's all over the world.
yeah,
It's
it's
not
not
just in
just
the
us.
US,
No,
it's
everybody
all
got
over.
hit. You had other countries that were, I mean, just furious over it. China's ready to be fit to be tied. I mean, it's
Oh,
like, geez.
do you see this
I
escalating
would not
with
want to get in a fight with them. I mean, they may not have the military might that they propose to have, but they got the people.
they do?
You know, they outnumber us major big time, you know.
But to kind of bring everything to a close, here is what I felt when we did our readings. When you think about it, this person in charge of a country, or pretending to be, that refused to leave their office, doesn't remind you of typical dictatorship. Putin wouldn't leave his place.
Yeah.
Putin wouldn't fly, wouldn't do anything. It's exactly the same thing. This is a trait of dictatorship.
Yeah.
They have so many people against them that they can't leave their building.
For people who project such an image of strength and power and I'm in control, they're the most fearful people I've ever studied.
Yes.
They're afraid of everything and everyone because they can't trust anybody
Remember, like
because they aren't trustworthy. Yeah.
Putin has two people tasting his food before he eats the food.
Yeah.
It's that kind of fear.
That's not a job I would want to have.
Yeah, but it's benefiting.
I would not want to have to eat somebody else's food on the chance that they're getting
Oh.
poisoned because that means I'm going down if it's true. So
So,
but yeah,
for,
this is it's
it's
global.
bad. It's really
It's
bad.
other countries are like they no longer trust the US at all. He has
No,
completely destroyed our
no,
trust and our standing in the world's eyes.
no.
It's going to take a long time to repair the damage he's causing,
And we're
if it's
just at
even
the beginning.
repairable.
Yes, we're just at the beginning. Um, so for those of you who've been watching us, I hope you had some fun. And please let us know in the comments, what do you think? Is it health? Is it justice? Is it
Did you pick up anything? What
thing?
are the hits you
Yes.
got?
Did you pull your
Yeah,
cards while we pull ours? Like, what do you feel? Let us know because it's not just a one answer. And Shari,
exactly.
thank you so much for joining me in our get
Thank you.
together.
I
And any,
love getting together with you.
thank you, me too. And any announcement about your channel you want to highlight?
I'm at 5,600 now and pushing on. I'm aiming for 10,000 by the end of summer. So fingers crossed.
And if you're
Um,
watching this episode and you're a
please go
subscriber
like,
on my
share, and
channel,
subscribe.
then go on Sherry's channel and do the same, please.
And in reverse, if you're
And in
on my
reverse,
channel, go to Nate's channel and subscribe. It's free.
yes,
Doesn't cost you anything to subscribe. Um, leave a comment after shows drop because that boosts the algorithm. It
big
helps
time.
push our shows out so that people can find us. Like Marina says, there's people looking for us, they just don't know where we are. So
True.
we gotta help the algorithm get us
Yes.
out there so they can find us. Um, I mean, normal, I've got mastering mental wellness on Sunday. I've got draining the swamp on Monday with Mel and Arthur, and then regular stuff until our next show.
Okay. And
And
Sherry, okay, sorry. What about you offering private readings?
yes, I do offer private readings. They can email me at swampvoices, all one word, at gmail.com. And if you're not sure, just go to my about page on my YouTube. It's got my email listed, everything's right there. Um, if you wish to make a donation, you can do a super chat or anything like that. If you want to make sure I get all the money and not give half to YouTube, you can go to my PayPal or my Venmo. Those are listed on my page as well. Social media, Blue Sky and Substack.
You're
I haven't really
everywhere.
done a lot with Substack. I'm kind of figuring it out a little bit, a little late to the party there. Um, but and of course, I still have a Facebook account, Instagram. I don't have X or Twitter, whatever you want to call it
Me
anymore.
neither.
I shut that down when EM bought it. I was like, yep, nope, that's a done deal for me. Um, pretty much if you look online for any version of Swamp Lady, SWMP, no A in there, LADY, 9 out of 10, it's gonna be me. Um, back when we got our first computer in 1999, and my son said, "Well, you gotta have a internet name," and I'm like, "Why?" And he's like, "Nobody uses their real name. You gotta have an internet, an online name." And I'm like, "Well, I don't know what the hell to call myself," and he came up with Swamp Lady, and I thought, "Okay, that kind of works," you know. And it stuck. So there's some version of me out there just about everywhere under Swamp Lady, or a variation of that anyway. So, but yeah, you can find me just about anywhere. If you want a reading, just buzz me, let me know. If you have political questions you want me to read on them, pardon the dogs, message me and I'll do a little short reading and answer it and post it. I've started doing that. So,
Oh yeah. Okay.
and that's same old, same old.
Well, thank you. And thank you
Thank
for
you.
being here. I hope everyone who's been watching enjoyed this very
What about
focused,
you,
like,
Nate?
well,
What have
everything's
you
on my
got coming up?
channel. Uh, well, I will have this week. Well, right now I have a video going that are basic answer to the viewers and subscribers questions. So I have that
Yeah.
video going on right now. And next week I alternate that. So one week is predictions, one week is a Lenormand tableau, a full
Right.
tableau. And so I alternate. And I have people who love one and love the other. So I alternate. And
I'm
then some
still so
collaborations.
intimidated by
Yes,
the
I know.
Lenormand. I look at it and I'm like, I don't know what to do. So it's just, I'm taking it in little bitty bites, so
It
it's like,
was, it
just take
was,
time.
yes. And I do classes. Thank
But
you
I
for
love the
reminding
class.
me.
Yeah,
Yes,
he does great classes, y'all.
thank you.
So
And so
sign
I
up for
am
the class.
doing a Tarot kind of level 2 in May. And then in
Oh,
June would be a
interesting.
Lenormand level 2. So,
Huh.
and
Maybe a
then
while before I'm ready for that. So I took the level one class and I'm like, oh, I don't know if I can do this. And I thought, well, yeah, you can do it. You just have to put your mind to it. Um,
yes, and you can do the level 1 class. It's recorded, so if you go on my link, you can download it and do the class, even if you were not
yeah,
in class. Well,
yeah.
thank you, everyone, and
Thank you, thank you.
we'll be again online
You have a
sometime.
topic you want us to do another deep
Yeah,
dive on, send it to us. Let us know. I mean, and then we get together twice a month. Once on Nate's channel, we do a recorded deep dive. Once on my channel, we normally do a live stream, ask anything. Um, and we got to go from there.
and we have quite a few crossover people.
Oh yeah,
I
absolutely. So,
recognize names all the time, and you do the same. I mean,
oh yeah. I'll go into your chat and I'm like, oh, that's a member, that's a
I
member,
know,
that's a
I know,
subscriber. That's it's
I know. I recognize
yeah.
people. Yeah. Well, that's what's wonderful. Thank you, everyone. Have a wonderful day.
A great
And
week.
and talk to you soon. Bye bye.
Bye.